Hello everyone, welcome to our group and we will be talking about ACC116 subject costing method about our business which is Angelic Bakery. Without further ado, I would introduce you to our group members. For our group members, we have Nur Khairunisa and then myself Rajidina Akila and then we have Putri Alia Khadijah and lastly Nur Barkisha Ilham. Without further ado, I would like to pass it on to the next person.
So I'm gonna talk about business overview. Angelic Bakery is a small bakery business that specializes in sweet and delicious baked goods. The bakery focuses on the selling red velvet muffin and chocolate cakes, which prepared fresh to ensure high quality and great taste. Angelic Bakery shop aim to provide customers with soft, moist, and flavorful dessert that are suitable for all occasions, including birthday, celebration, and daily treat. The business started in December 2024, and the bakery opened every Sunday until Wednesday at 11 a.m. to until 4 p.m. Angelic Bakery shop located at Kuala Terengganu, Paya Bunga Square, Floor 2. The bakery is committed to using good quality ingredients to produce products that satisfy customers and meet their expectation. Angelic Bakery shop operate with the goal of the delivering delightful dessert that bring happiness and enjoyment to customer. With a focus on taste, freshness, and customer satisfaction, Angelic Bakery shops strive to build a good reputation as a trusted bakery choice.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nur Ilham and I am going to present about the explanation of product costing methodologies employed. Without further ado, let's get started. So our bakery used batch costing as its product costing method because it is very well suited to the way we produce our items. We make products like chocolate cakes and red velvet muffins in specific batches, and each batch contains identical products that use the same ingredients, labor, and baking procedures. Because all items in a batch are uniform, it is easier for us to assign and trace the cost accurately to each batch. This method allows us to understand exactly how much each batch costs to produce. Under the batch costing system, all production costs are collected and recorded for each batch separately. These costs include direct materials such as flour, sugar, cocoa powder, butter, eggs, and food colorings. They also include direct labor, which covers the wages of workers involved in mixing, baking, and decorating the products. Additionally, manufacturing overhead is considered, which includes utilities, equipment depreciation, and kitchen maintenance. Once the total cost of a batch is calculated, we divide it by the number of units in that batch to find the cost per unit, which help us understand the cost of each individual product. Using batch costing provides several advantages for the bakery. It helps us control and monitor the cost for each batch of products more effectively. It also assists management in setting suitable selling prices and ensure that our profit margins remain consistent. Furthermore, batch costing supports efficient production planning by allowing us to identify differences in cost between batches, which in turn helps us improve operational efficiency and manage costs better. Overall, this method gives us a clear picture of our production expenses and helps the bakery run more smoothly and profitably.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nukhairunisa Bintu Jasmine and my student ID card number is 20244399614. So today I would like to present about implement inventory control for direct materials. So I will be presenting on direct material costs using chocolate cake produced by Angelic Bakery as an example. Direct material costs refers to the cost of raw materials that are directly used in the production of a product that can be clearly traced to each unit produced. These materials become an essential part of the finished product and are easy to measure in terms of quantity and cost. For the chocolate cake produced by Angelic Bakery, direct materials include all the main ingredients that form the cake itself. These ingredients are necessary for production and directly affect the quality and taste of the final product. So we move to the next. So in this part of the presentation, I will explain the formula and calculation of direct material cost for 1 kilogram of chocolate cake produced by Angelic Bakery. So first, I will explain the formula. Let us look at the formula used to calculate direct material cost. The formula is direct material cost equal to quantity used times cost per unit. This formula means that for each ingredient, we multiply the amount used in production by its purchase price per unit. The result gives us the cost of the material used in producing the cake. Calculation of direct material cost, 1 kilogram chocolate cake. Now, I will explain the calculation for each ingredient one by one. First, flour. The quantity used is 0.50 kg and the purchase price is 4 ringgit per kilo. So, the calculation is 0.50 kg times 4 ringgit equals to 2 ringgit. Next is cocoa powder. The quantity used is 0.10 kg with a cost of 2 ringgit per kilogram. Therefore, 0.10 kg times 20 ringgit equals to 2 ringgit. Next is sugar. The quantity used is 0.30 kg and the price is 3 ringgit per kilo. So the cost is 0.30 kilograms times 3 ringgit, so equals to 90 cents. So next is butter. The quantity used is 0.25 kilo and the purchase price is 18 ringgit per kilo. The calculation is 0.25 kilogram times 18 ringgit equals to 4 ringgit and 50 cents. Next, eggs. A total of 5 eggs are used with each egg costing 60 cents. So the cost of egg is 5 times 60 cents equals to 3 ringgit. Next is milk. The quantity used is 0.20 liter and the price is 4 ringgit per liter. Therefore, 0.20 liter times 4 ringgit equals to 80 cents. Finally, chocolate chips or bar chocolate. The quantity used is 0.30 kilo with a purchase price of 28 ringgit per kilo. The calculation is 0.30 kilo times 28 ringgit equals to 8 ringgit and 40 cents. Total direct material cost after calculating the cost for all ingredients, we add them together, is 2 ringgit plus 2 ringgit plus 90 cents plus 4 ringgit and 50 cents plus 3 ringgit plus 80 cents and plus 8 ringgit and 40 cents. This gives a total direct material cost of 1 kilogram chocolate cake is 25 ringgit. So for the next is, in this section, I will explain the formula of calculation of direct material cost for 1 red velvet muffin produced by Angelic Bakery. Explanation of the formula is, first, let us look at the formula used. The formula used is direct material cost per muffin equals to total cost for 6 muffins divided by 6. This is because the ingredients were originally calculated for 6 muffins, so to find the cost 1 of the muffin, we divide the total direct material cost by 6. In this case, 12 ringgit divided by 6 equals to 2 ringgit per muffin. So the calculation of direct material cost for 1 red velvet muffin is, now I will explain the calculation for each ingredient used in producing 1 red velvet muffin. So first is flour. The quantity used is 0.40 kilos for 6 muffin with a purchase price of 4 ringgit per kilo. The cost per muffin is calculated as 1/6 of the total cost. So, 0.40 kilograms times 4 ringgit divided by 6. So, equals to 27 cents. So next is sugar. The quantity used is 0.25 kilograms and the price is 3 ringgit per kilo. So the cost per muffin is 0.25 kilos times 3 ringgit divided by 6 is 30 cent, 13 cent. Next is butter. The quantity used is 0.20 kilo with purchase price of 18 ringgit per kilogram. The calculation is 0.20 kilos times 18 ringgit divided by 6, so equals to 60 cent. So next, explained by eggs. A total of 4 eggs are used for 6 muffins and each egg costs 60 cent. The cost per muffin is 4 times 60 cent divided by 6, so equals to 40 cent. Next is milk. The quantity used is 0.15 liter and the purchase price is 4 ringgit per liter, so the cost per muffin is 0.15 liter times 4 ringgit divided by 6 is 1 cent, 10 cent. Next, cocoa powder. The quantity used is 0.017 kilo with a cost of 18 ringgit per kilo. The calculation is 0.017 kilos times 18 ringgit divided 6 is 30 cent. Finally, a red food coloring. The quantity used is 0.004 liter and the price is 50 ringgit per liter. The cost per muffin is 0.004 liter times 15 ringgit, 50 ringgit divided by 6 equals to 20 cent. So the total direct material costs are calculating the cost for each ingredient. We add all the amounts together is 27 cent, 30 cent, 60 cent, 40 cent, 10 cent, 30 cent and 20 cent. So this gives a total direct material cost of 2 ringgit for one red velvet muffin.
And for cost calculation for direct labor cost, which for worker per day is Rm 2 ringgit times 6 hour equal Rm 12 per workers, and total direct labor cost per day is Rm 12 ringgit times 6 worker equal to Rm 72 ringgit per days, and final answer for direct labor cost is equal Rm 72 ringgit per day.
Hello, my name is Rajidina Akila and I would like to talk about allocation of manufacturing overhead costs. Without wasting no time, let's look at our calculation and definition of our overhead costs. For the definition of manufacturing overhead costs refers to indirect production costs that cannot be directly traced to a specific product but are necessary for the manufacturing process. This meant that it is in between the process where we have to calculate the cost. For example, overhead rate and overhead allocated. Without further ado, I would like to explain it furthermore to the next slide. So this is our calculation for our overhead rate. So for total monthly manufacturing overhead, it is 3,650. For total monthly direct labor hours, it is 330 hours. With that, we have to count it as 3,650 divided with 370 hours. We will have 5 ringgit per labor. Next is our overhead allocated, where we'll be counting about indirect costs. So for our indirect materials, we have baking paper, oil spray, and cleaning supplies, which cost around we already have our manufacturing overhead and our prime cost. So with that, we can count the total of the manufacturing cost. So for our prime cost, it is 79 ringgit. And our manufacturing overhead, which is 30 ringgit. So if we total up those two, we will get 109 ringgit every total manufacturing or production cost. Thank you. That is all from me.
So, in this section, I will explain about job cost card calculation. In this section, I will explain job cost card calculation under a job order. Job cost card calculation refers to the process of calculating and recording all costs incurred for a specific job or product. Each job or batch of product, instead of separately allowing businesses to determine the exact cost of production for the particular job. Under a job order costing system, the job cost card typically includes three main four components. So I will explain. First, direct materials. The first component is direct materials. Direct materials refer to raw materials that are directly used in the production process and can be clearly traced to a specific job. Examples include ingredients such as flour, sugar, butter, and cocoa powder used in baking. The cost of these materials is recorded on the job cost card for the specific job. So, second is direct labor. The second component is direct labor cost. Direct labor cost refers to the wages paid to workers who are directly involved in producing the product, such as bakers, who mix ingredients, bake, and decorate the products. The labor cost is calculated based on the time spent and the job multiplied by the wage rate and the recorded on the job cost card. And for the last one, third is manufacturing overhead. The third component is manufacturing overhead, includes all indirect production costs that cannot be directly traced to a specific job. Examples include electricity, water, factory, rent, equipment, duplication, and indirect labor. These costs are allocated to the job using a predetermined overhead rate. Purpose of job cost card calculation: all three costs, direct materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead, are added together to determine the total cost of the job. By dividing the total cost by the number of units produced, the unit cost can then be calculated. So, I will move to the next is calculated by 1 kilogram chocolate cake produced by Angelic Bakery. So, here are the job cost card, which is we need the cost of the direct materials. Some of the ingredients used is 20 ringgit. Direct labor, 2 ringgit times 6 hours times 6 workers is 72 ringgit. For the direct expenses, we have none. So the prime cost is 22 ringgit plus 72 ringgit. So the total is 94 ringgit. So next is manufacturing overhead, 6 hours times 5 ringgit. So the total is 30 ringgit. For the next is total manufacturing is 94 ringgit plus 30 ringgit. So the total is 124 ringgit. For the profit, 30%. 30% times 124 ringgit. So the total is 37 ringgit and 20 cent. And for the last one is the selling price, 124 ringgit plus 37.20 cent ringgit is total 161.20 cent. So, for the calculation of red velvet muffin for 6 muffin, for the job cost card is direct material, sum of ingredients used is 12 ringgit. Direct labor, 2 ringgit times 6 hours times 6 worker is 72 ringgit. For the direct expenses, we got none. For the next is prime cost is 12 ringgit plus 72 ringgit, total is 84 ringgit. So for the next is the manufacturing overhead, 6 ringgit times 5 ringgit, so the total is 30 ringgit. So for the next is total manufacturing cost is 84 ringgit plus 30 ringgit. So the total is 114 ringgit. For the profit is 30%. 30% times 114 ringgit, the total is 34 ringgit and 20 cent. So for the selling price is 114 ringgit plus 34.20 ringgit. So the total for the selling price of red velvet muffin for 6 muffin is 148.20 cent.